we're not getting closure anytime soon. We're suffering every day. This guy needs to go to jail forever.
Today on the Morning Edition, it's been 6 years of pain and suffering for the family of Cynthia Hoffman, brutally murdered in 2019, as they wait for the final suspect in the case to be sentenced.
Plus, a big cleanup ahead as crews in Anchorage get started on abating the city's largest homeless encampment. How city officials plan to get people out of Davis Park and keep the park clear in the future.
And later, posing for pics as an Italian art museum, though, turned disastrous when a tourist ended up crushing a crystal-encrusted chair and then flew the coop as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Yikes.
That's an expensive mistake.
Oh, my goodness. We'll have that story a little bit later on. Meantime, though, we do have a nice little familiar face in the morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Welcome. Good morning.
Happy to be with you bright and early this morning, filling in here for Aaron. And we're waking up a little bit of cloud cover and a little rain, but you really have to embrace this today because this is the last time this week that we are going to see really any significant moisture pushing through the areas. So if you have gardens that you've been needing to water, lawns, again, today is your quick shot of a little light rain pushing in as temperatures hold in the low 50s. About 5 degrees warmer. And you head to the interior, a lot more sunshine there as well. Mostly sunny as you head up to the slope. And we have, again, a little bit of cloud cover, some showers pushing through the southwest and southeast corners here of the state. Look at this impressive band of rain pushing on the backside of this area of low pressure. That is bringing very wet conditions into Prince William Sound. It's going to slide across Kenai Peninsula here in just the next couple of hours. And again, chances for a few quick light showers here in Anchorage as well. Also producing some thunderstorms. Not common that we see morning thunderstorms in Anchorage, but we have seen already one lightning strike up over the Chugach Mountains this morning. A few showers also pushing here through the valley with a lot more active lightning as you head north and west, which is a bit concerning because of the heat and the dry conditions that we're already seeing here in the interior. Again, warnings are in place for critical fire danger, and we have that heat advisory in effect still for the interiors. Those temperatures push to the upper 80s and low 90s today. And to the north, because of the heat that we're seeing, we're actually also seeing flooding concerns. We do have flood watches and warnings in place. This is because of rapid snow melt in the area, actually seeing some historic flooding there on the slope. But otherwise, waking up to a beautiful day there in Fairbanks at 58, a little bit of cloud cover in Palmer, still holding onto those clouds in Ketchikan. And again, we'll see the sunshine on the way for the second half of the day. Those temperatures starting in the low 50s, getting right back into those upper 50s this afternoon. The sunshine, the heat, it's on the way, and all of those details here in a few minutes.
Well, this morning we are learning more about a deadly shooting that unfolded between a man and Alaska State Troopers in Houston over the weekend.
Joe Allgood went to the scene and tells us what witnesses heard as the confrontation played out.
3 Alaska State Troopers shot and killed a man who was exiting the trailer behind me late Saturday night, according to local residents here in Houston. A dispatch from the Department of Public Safety says the troopers were in the process of executing a felony arrest warrant for Wasilla resident Kyle Lambert. Lambert was previously arrested for drug possession and vehicle theft and had violated the conditions of his bail multiple times, leading to Saturday's warrant. DPS says that Lambert pulled a handgun when troopers came to arrest him, and so 3 of them opened fire. Lambert was hit and declared dead on the scene. Neighbors in the area said they heard the shots around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday, and that troopers have been called to the same vacant lot multiple times in the past year. The Alaska Bureau of Investigation has opened a case on this shooting, while the 3 officers who fired their weapons have been placed on leave for 7 days. The troopers say their names will be released in the near future. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Sean Mobley, the man accused of distributing carfentanil leading to the death of a 16-year-old in Wasilla, is set to be arraigned in federal court today. The federal grand jury returned an indictment last week charging 45-year-old Mobley with distributing the deadly drug to 2 people. Police say 16-year-old Elena Tonis died as a result, and another person identified as an adult who is said to have also overdosed but survived after being given Narcan. Mobley is facing several federal charges, including with 1 count of distribution of a controlled substance, resulting in serious bodily injury and death. If convicted, he faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years and a maximum sentence of life in prison.
The last defendant in the 2019 brutal murder of Cynthia Hoffman at Thunderbird Falls returned to court Monday for a status hearing. 22-year-old Kayden McIntosh is the man prosecutors say pulled the trigger. He was 16 years old at the time of the shooting. He pleaded guilty last year to one count of second-degree murder. Prosecutors on Monday say his sentencing is still scheduled for August. Hoffman's uncles, Donald and Mike Hoffman, were present in court and told Alaska's news source the family has waited long enough for 22-year-old Kayden McIntosh to be sentenced.
It just needs to be dealt with. It's the last guy, the person, the main shooter. He's had years and years to be set up for this, and the judge has been really patient with him, but his patience are running out. We just want to get this over with. We have closure so we can move on with our lives.
McIntosh is currently scheduled for sentencing on August 25th. Darren Schillmiller and Denali Bremer each received 99 years for their involvement, while Caleb Leland, who a judge determined played a lesser role, was sentenced to 30 years.
The family of a young boy who lost his life after he wandered away from home in Cordova is remembering him as a complete light to everyone who knew him. 3-year-old Leonardo Hackley, known as Leo, drowned after slipping out of bed and wandering toward the shore near his home on June 11th. His body was found hours later in the muddy tidal flats. His mother, Jade Hackley, believes that he was drawn to the rocks that he loved to collect. She says Leo was curious, joyful, and taught their family more in 3 years than most people do in a lifetime. The medical examiner confirmed he drowned in the waters just beyond their home. Well, today marks 6 days of searching for a missing kayaker in Kachemak Bay. 62-year-old David Meyer was last seen Wednesday after failing to return to Ninilchik. Meyers' daughter, Chantrell, told Alaska's news source last week the kayak was found near Whiskey Gulch, further south from where her father was last seen. Volunteers, including the Alaska Dive Search, Rescue, and Recovery Team, have been conducting aerial and water searches. His daughter says the community hasn't stopped looking. As summer water activities pick up, a survival expert says be prepared.
Got to keep it simple. Pretty much is, all right, bright life jacket, worn all the time, and a beacon on their body. If they don't have a beacon, they don't want to pay for that, have some flares. Right? Have a flashlight, anything like that, all right? But the beacons, again, are what we're pushing the most.
Learn to return. Instructors also recommend making a travel plan to share with friends and family. You can find more safety information on our website.
Today's the day the municipality of Anchorage is moving in to clear the large homeless encampment at Davis Park and the nearby snow dump. The city says in the days leading up to abatement, they've been working to connect people at the camp with resources such as shelter, housing, behavioral health services, and more. The muni says it'll continue outreach efforts beyond today in an effort to prevent people from returning to the park or surrounding neighborhood. Additionally, trespassing laws will be enforced in the area. A stretch of the Dalton Highway is closed after a washout over the weekend.
The Alaska Department of Transportation says high waters washed out a culvert at milepost 315 on the Hall Road, resulting in an emergency closure on Saturday. Maintenance and operations crews are still working to repair the vital corridor. The DOT says in addition to the milepost 315 washout, high water levels caused by the breakup of ice also eroded part of the highway at milepost 345. DOT leaders say both portions of the road should be back open to traffic by tomorrow. A DOT spokesperson says other areas have stabilized and they do not anticipate any further issues from high waters along the Hall Road.
We're still seeing a lot of changes in the Sag River, meaning more flow at night because that ice has melted. And so we will continue seeing that as we've got warm weather, we've got ice melting, and as we look forward, we don't anticipate there being a whole lot more flooding of surges like we've seen, but we are seeing that change in water flow going up at night.
Once the highway reopens, DOT leaders say travelers can expect to be met by flaggers and pilot cars as road work continues, and traffic will be down to one lane.
Coming up, fire crews are working to quell the flames of what the Division of Forestry is calling the first major wildfire of the season. Details on the Osqualik fire burning in Southeast and threatening native allotments.
Plus, a local animal rescue group needs your help after its social media was hacked, which the nonprofit depends on to spread the word, raise money, and find volunteers.
And the radar is active this morning, preparing for heavy rain pushing across South Central, along with lightning active in the region. We'll let you know what to prepare for today.
Well, windy and dry weather is helping to fuel a wildfire that is burning near Crooked Creek. The blaze is threatening native allotments in the region. The Alaska Division of Forestry is calling it the first large full suppression wildfire of the season.
The Usquallick fire is about 10 miles southwest of Crooked Creek and 35 miles west of Sleet Mute. The fire has burned around 1,500 acres and is only 5% contained. The cause is still under investigation. So the first major wildfire of the season.
Yeah, Melissa, what can you tell us about that? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It is a little late in the season to really see the first one. So in that regard, it is good news. But things are really ramping up very quickly at this point. We've already seen more than 3,000 acres burned in 2025. And much of that is here just from the past week or so. We do currently have 41 active fires. And get this, 21 of those are new just in the past 24 hours. So again, things really starting to light up. We do have that one staffed fire. That is the only one in the state. Now, we are not seeing any chances of any widespread rain across the interior today, which is where we need it. We will get some from thunderstorms, but the wetter conditions are here on the southern edge of the state. Wet conditions from Prince William Sound here into the Kenai Peninsula. So we will see this quick band of rain moving through. It'll be rather heavy, as you can see, for Prince William Sound sliding across the Kenai Peninsula later this morning. It won't get clipped by just a few of those showers in Anchorage and the valley. But if you thought you heard some thunder this morning up in East Anchorage or Eagle River, you probably did. We've seen one lightning strike there, also seeing active lightning here to the north. And a closer look at those warnings and advisories that we're seeing here across the interior. It's all because of the heat and the dry conditions that we're seeing. Again, temperatures pushing to the upper 80s and low 90s. So heat advisories in place. Again, this is a new advisory for us here in Alaska. National Weather Service now warning people when temperatures get to that level because of the danger that can come from it. Red flag warnings because of the critical fire danger. And then, ironically, as it may sound, we have flood warnings and advisories in effect for the northern parts of the state from the Brooks Range all the way to the Arctic Ocean. And this is also because of the heat, because of the rapid snowmelt and ice jams that are happening in the area. So we're talking historic flooding. The Colville River is at the highest levels ever recorded, and we are preparing for high water in this area. So again, this is here all the way to the slope. Also, that emergency closure that you heard about earlier there on the Dalton Highway, also because of high water in the area. So watching those dry, warm conditions to the north, wet conditions to the south, but things are about to change. Check this out. We have this trough here across the northern Pacific. That's what's been bringing the cooler, wetter conditions to the south, while it's a ridge of high pressure to the north, bringing those warm, dry conditions there. But as we move into the next 36 hours, that low pressure is moving out of here. So high pressure is going to take control of pretty much the entire state, and that does mean warmer and drier conditions are on the way, including Anchorage and across South Central later this week. Today, we have those morning showers, high temperatures in the upper 50s, back up to 60 in Valdez, 72 in Golcan. Again, that rain is going to come through quick, but you'll see drier conditions into the afternoon. For those of you into the valley, again, a few quick morning showers as well, low 60s this afternoon. Anchorage, I expect a high of just 59. So again, it will be cooler today, but this is the last day that will be under that influence of low pressure. Look at these temperatures climbing quickly. 70 degrees Thursday, solstice, it's on Friday. Temperatures holding in those upper 60s all the way into the weekend. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover over the weekend. Southeast, we still have some showers on the south side, but you're warming up and clearing out there to the north and through the interior. Again, it's warm. 87 for the high temperature there in Fairbanks today.
An Anchorage nonprofit with a mission to find loving homes for cats and dogs has hit a roadblock in its efforts. The Animal Adoption and Rescue Foundation, or ARF, lost years of work and thousands of followers after their social media was hacked. Lauren Maxwell shows us how you can help keep their mission alive.
There's a lot of smells. Look at that.
Elfie and Riley are living the good life now.
They both get along with everybody. That's the journey.
But it didn't start out that way.
She came to us severely starved. You can see every bone in her body.
Tanya Crane is fostering 4-month-old Elfie. She's a volunteer with Alaska Animal Rescue Friends, or ARF.
Good boy.
So is Trina Johnson, who adopted her fostered dog Riley 9 years ago.
It's what we call foster failing, when you end up fostering, and then you fail at fostering because you end up adopting.
ARF works with volunteers to fly neglected or abused dogs from Alaskan villages into Anchorage.
Oh, she has such big ears.
I know. Where they immediately go into foster homes before being eligible for adoption. The nonprofit gets the word out through social media. But earlier this month, the rescue operation came to a screeching halt when leaders discovered its Facebook page had been deleted.
We literally, as of almost 2 weeks ago, went from 50,000 followers and 14 years of Facebook to 0.
ARF was able to make a new Facebook page, but it's had to start from scratch.
They took everything down. They took every video, photo.
Most importantly, they lost their 50,000 followers, people they depend on for donations, adoptions, and particularly to volunteer as fosters.
Without that social media, I don't know what we're going to do.
They're hopeful people find their new page, follow them again, and volunteer so that dogs like Elfie.
And knowing that I done all I did to make her who she is today is what gets me every time.
Can get the new start they deserve. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Big changes are coming to Iditarod in 2026. The Expedition Musher program will now allow select guests from around the world to race alongside approved mushers throughout the trail. Guests are expected to pay a fee and will be exempt from certain race rules, such as being able to receive outside help.
The Iditarod Trail Committee announced the program as part of an effort to bring a new audience to the race. Norwegian billionaire Kjell Inge Røkke has been announced as the first expedition musher for the 2026 Iditarod.
I think we're at a point now, an inflection point. We really need to be innovative. We need to generate new fans, generate and increase our revenue base and diversify our revenue streams.
Ambassadors of the program are not eligible for the cash prize.
2 high school students from the Matsuboro won 3rd place in a video competition for the 2025 U.S. Court's 9th Circuit Civics Contest. The homeschooled students collectively produced a creative video essay highlighting what citizens' rights means to them.
I feel that it's really important to know your rights as U.S. citizens and practice them and to know them so they don't get taken away from you. And when we talked about doing this civics contest, we pulled out the ones that we felt that was really most important to us: the right for religion, free speech, and right to bear arms.
I had looked at the winners from last year and I saw they were mostly doing like a documentary type, and I was like, that's boring. And personally, I didn't want to make like a documentary type. I wanted to make like something a little bit more like movie-like, film-like. So we wanted to dramatize it.
The $1,000 prize was split between them. The 9th Circuit says 126 video entries were submitted from students across the 15 judicial districts. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's News Source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.